Okay, so we are back again for another installment of the GT185 restoration on a budget, and it's been quite a little while since I've been able to get back to this. It's all covered up, front wheels back off. Things have been kind of hibernating for the winter. It's just been bucketing down with rain. It's been really difficult to get things done, let alone come and do this. So it's actually got some nice blue sky outside. Look at that. Haven't seen that for quite a while. So I'm here to scratch the itch again and get a bit more done on the bike. And the last thing we're doing was putting that front end together. And when I was putting this on, there's all this powder falling out from a little hole, little rust hole in the rim, and I wasn't going to do that just yet. I just wanted to get this thing as a roller, but that really annoyed me because it was kind of falling inside, threatening to get grimy contamination into some of the grease and stuff. So I just thought, I am just going to knock that on the head and fix it. So I've got a new rim, I've got a set of spokes, and I've got a tyre. So I've got pretty much everything I need, and I've got a little spoke spanner set that arrived, so I'll just quickly show you that. So this is it here, and there's all sorts of sizes here, but I've got the one in there that is the right size, so I thought I'd just get myself a proper little spanner and be done with it. So I've actually tried undoing the old spokes, and it turns a bit and then starts rounding them off. So unfortunately it looks as if I'm just going to have to cut through these. I really sort of didn't want to because these are original, but anyway, you can't help bad luck. So anyway, the first thing I'm going to do is see if I can get this tyre off. I've got some tyre levers. It's going to be a bit of a job because this thing is like rock hard. But anyway, while the sun's shining, let's get to it. Nothing left in there. Oh man, look at it. This. Ooh, that thing is hard as a rock. No. I think that's had it. I'm a bit of a novice at this, can you tell? Okay, it's off. That took some doing because this is all but petrified, and you can see in here, look at all that. Whoops, sorry about that. That's history. Look at the state of it. Got a new one of them. Look at that. There's their holes. There's no saving that. Well, this bit here is not so bad. But that's not the problem bit. It's there. Okay, let's move on. Noise alert. I think I'm going to need to change that cutting disc. That's going to have to come off. Right, so I just need to have a bit of a clean up of these areas. The new ones will hide that, but still looks a bit bad. Maybe clean up in these holes. But there it is. We're all cleaned up now, and me being me, while it was apart, I couldn't resist but to give it a bit of a polish. It's a pretty coarse surface. I think this had a lot of corrosion in the beginning, so it's kind of like polishing a turd a little bit, but I'm just going to stick a bit of clear lacquer on that, and I'm expecting that'll just make it a little duller than it is already, but whatever. It's going to protect it, so we'll let that, I'll do that and let it dry, and then I'll get back to it once it's good to go. Okay, so here we are back again after a few days of letting this dry, and it's come up pretty good. You can see that pitting in there, so it's never going to be great, but it's okay. So, got my new rim, and I've got a bit of a heart attack for a minute because you'll see here, this is an 18 by 1.6. Now, they sent me 2 of these, and initially I thought, man, they've sat there for 6 months and I haven't opened them, actually longer than that. And they've sent me 2 front ones, but I think I'm good because the width of the front tyre, let me just reference the book. Yes, we're referencing this one again. Shows me front tyre 2.75 by 18, the rear tyre is a 3.0 by 18, and that's exactly what we've got. So they're not that different in width. So it's pretty much just squeezing a slightly wider tyre on the same rim, so cross is averted. So anyway, we've got our rim, got our spokes, spoke nipples, and separated the spokes out into their two different types, and you'll notice the difference in the angles there. So took a couple of pictures before I hacked this apart, and I made myself sort of like a quirky little template that sort of, it's a bit lame, but you know, sometimes you just need a little bit of something to show you the right angles and things. So I'll have a bit of a go at this, and I'll bring you back. Okay, so we're getting some progress going here. It's all starting to look like it should. That's pretty much the same sort of angles going on there, so I'm getting that right. So it ends up pretty much, you've got a high, a low, a high, a low. So one on the top, every second one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Every fourth one. So every second one goes every fourth one. And then you get the right angle going, kind of like that. They pretty much just cross over each other right at the hub. And that's every second one is every fourth hole, and around you go. And I've still got a couple swinging in the breeze here, but it's taking shape really quickly, so still got some movement there. But considering that, like, I've done the nipples with roughly the same amount of thread sticking out, because I don't want it to pull tight and I can't line them up. So that's kind of my start point, and it's already starting to firm up, so looking good. Okay, we're getting some really good progress going now. It's pretty much all together. There's no movement between the hub and the rim anymore. All the spokes are up to a certain tension. I've got my little spoke spanner going on here. So pretty much what I did to get it to here was the thread sticking out of here. I kind of, you know, like got, say, the thickness of that, and referencing where the thread ended, I'd sort of like do it up to the thickness of that, and I'd go around doing that all the way around, and then I'd get the next thinnest one until pretty much the thread disappeared and you couldn't see it to know how far you were doing it. So then it was like, okay, get the screwdriver on here, do half a turn all the way around, and then it started to really come together. So it's kind of starting to get the right sound to it. I might just ping the back wheel and see how that sounds. Right, so this is the back wheel, so just give, oh, I've got a lot more tightening to do yet. You can hear some of those are a little bit different to each other, but I've got some more tightening to do because mine's nothing like this yet. Right, so we're moving on nicely here. I thought, oh, it's getting a bit heavier too. I've got my protector in there, a nice new one. So I'll pop the tyre on in the correct direction. Where's my arrow? Here's my arrow. So I've got my new tube here. So I'm just going to pop that in. Finish putting that tyre on, and pop a little bit of air in it, and it really needs to sit on the bike to get the last little bit done. So I'm moving towards that now. Right, so while I'm doing this wheel, in order to keep it still, I've got a tie-down strap holding this side and a bungee cord holding that side. So we've got a bit of movement, but it'll kind of pull itself back to the right position. So I can spin this and it'll stay pretty still. Right, so as you can see, I've got it all mounted back up again and spinning freely. And I've got this screwdriver just sort of hodgepodged in here as a bit of an indicator, and I'll just zoom you in. Hopefully that shows up. You can see there's a bit of run out there. So I'm going to work on that and we'll see how we go. Right, so I've had a bit of a go at that and I'm hoping this will show up. It's quite difficult to see because this is so damn shiny, but it's the distance between those two. You can see its own reflection there. So there's a few imperfections in that rim, but all in all it's running pretty true. So I'm going to call that a win. Okay, we'll tick that box and we'll move on to the next bit. Right, so while you guys weren't watching, I actually re-spoked the back wheel, so we're all good to go now. So last thing to do here is put the chain on. So I'll do that and I'll show you when it's done. Okay, so there we have it. I've got both adjusters sitting in the same position. I've adjusted the chain a little on the tight side. I may need to loosen that off a bit, but I know that that's going to stretch pretty quick. Yeah, that might be okay. We'll see how we go. So we've got that noise now. Wow. Just seems so freaky. This is actually coming along really quickly now. So that means that if I fired the engine up, it would actually move under its own power. Now there's a milestone. Okay, we're all back together now. Side cover's back on. The gear selector's back on. The pipe is bolted back up. I had to drop those bits off just to get to the front sprocket there. The chain is finally on. The wheels are done, nice and shiny, brand new tyres. I've just slipped in passenger's foot peg there just as a little extra. So it's starting to really get finished up now. The box of bits has only got one thing left, and that's the actual headlight. So once I've got the wiring sorted out in the bucket there, I can put that on for good, and we'll be really getting along now. Won't be long and I'll be doing that tank. That'll take a bit of concentration. So we'll call it there for this video. And I'd like to thank everyone who's subscribed or watched my videos and this build series. And the next video will be very soon. So until then, thanks all for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.